try again. Just give me a moment. Hopefully it works this time. Yep, unable to connect, but I bet you. Yep, connecting just fine. I need to write that down. Damn it. Give me a second. Okay, there's that. Looks like my aspect ratio is fixed. That's fucking great now with 2 view. Okay, all right. Awesome. There, awesome there. Let's see. Let me get rid of that. Okay. Looking good there. And then, well, Facebook still looks like crap, but that's all right. Wait, hold on. No, that's the old one. Where's the new one? Let me. Oh, no, yes, all right. Looks great there then, too. Okay, all right. Let's see. I got a lot of other stuff to set up, but I did want to get a meditation out of the way. Okay. Oh, yeah, I got to check. Oh, no. No. Don't do this. Yes, this is already set up, so. Hey, hey. Brittany. Hey, Brittany. I am just testing right now, so it is going to be a little crappy, but it won't be forever. I don't know. Let me see. Let me go to my channel really quick. I bet you just created another event. Oh, wait, no. Okay. All right, that title is stupid, but it is streaming at least. Let's see. Okay. All right, I just got to figure out why the title won't change. Let me test my chats really quick. Yeah, why doesn't it change the title? It also says that I'm offline. Yeah, streaming unable to connect. Why is it doing that? Is it like stopping streaming? Let me see. No. Okay. Well, I'm probably going to do the meditation anyway, just because I want to get it out of the way and start my day. I don't know why the titles aren't changing on YouTube, but I'm sure I'll figure it out at some other point. And also the thumbnail looks like crap, but it is what it is. Why is it using my banner? Why would it do that? Why would it use my banner? Wait, can I edit the... I probably can't. Really? Hold on. Let me do testing and meditation again. Oh, the titles for these also aren't changed. Oh well. This is stupid. Yeah, this is stupid. Restream, you got some work to do. You got a little bit of work to do. It's actually still better than a lot of other stuff like StreamYard. So that's the good news. Let's see if I can change this, and then I will start. Why is this happening? Well, this is great for meditation. And now Linktree is not giving me my link anymore. I mean, I do kind of already know it, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Let's see. What is it? Just my name, right? Yeah, it's just this. So I guess I'll just copy and paste it. I don't know why I decided to get rid of my link. Okay. Let's see if this works. And then can I save it? Okay. All right. Well, let me go back then. Let me go back to my channel. And then, okay, still shitty thumbnail, but at least the title is correct. All right. Okay. All right. Let me test the chats now. Test. Okay. All right. A little bit of a delay, but that's okay. And then test that one. And then I test this one. I know there's ways to test it without streaming, but I just do not care. Okay, that worked. And then test. And then one more. And then we do the meditation. Okay. All right. Not bad. So just those two things then. Okay. Well, that makes meditation a little bit more difficult, but let me go back to my mantra here, or my affirmation, I guess, as they're called. I've been told that these aren't mantras, they're affirmations. But I've also read that no, they're mantras, and who cares really? So one of the things that I've been doing in meditation is I've been really paying attention to that moment before I fall asleep, and that moment right after I wake up, kind of when you're most at rest. I think for most people it's probably going to be right before you fall asleep, when you're still aware of things, and also before you start like hallucinating and hearing voices and that type of stuff that can happen as you're falling asleep. Just when you're like really relaxed. And then also, if you're going off and you got to go to work, you can kind of be shocked by your alarm bell and then jump out of bed. But if you don't do that, if you notice right as you're kind of like coming out of it, you're pretty relaxed at first. Or at least if you do it naturally. If you take a day where you don't set your alarm and you let yourself wake up naturally, you'll notice this moment where you're extremely relaxed. And so that's kind of the thing that I've been trying to tap into. And I've been doing it just through the mantra of being restfully awake. It seems to me like there's a lot of people who you can be in a moment restful, or you can be restless. And many people are restless, including myself. And so to try to change that, just the idea of being restful with anything that I'm doing throughout the day. So being restfully awake or restfully aware. And then from there, I kind of got this mantra of like being as restfully aware as I can. I wrote this down incorrectly. Being as restfully aware as you can of yes. So being as restfully aware as you can of your next conscious experience. So there's another idea in meditation which I found pretty unique, which is try to notice the next thing that you notice, or actually the way that it's put is try to notice the next thought that you have. And what many people notice when they do this is that it becomes harder. It becomes harder to notice the next thought you have. You stop having thoughts. Well, this can kind of work in the same way as we tend to attach our perspectives to our experiences. So instead, if you just tell yourself to just simply notice the next thing that rises in your conscious awareness, the perspective can be dulled down or even completely removed. You don't have the same interaction with the stimuli as you would if you were reacting. So this is the difference between proactive and reactive. So you're anticipating the stimuli instead of reacting to the stimuli. And then to also just be in a restful mood as you're doing this. And this can start to create a different association that you have with things that happen to you. A different reaction to your thoughts or your feelings or your moods, emotions, external stimuli. These are all things that we attach perspective to. So that's the first part of the mantra. And I do have many mantras which I'll share as I do these, and then just allowing some time for anybody to practice. I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve when it comes to meditation. Maybe I'll just share my journey in the future from beginning to end. But right now the mantra is be as restfully aware as you can of your next conscious experience. And then also, there's nothing else to concern yourself with. So that would be the next thing. Hello, Leondrit. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you for joining me. This is a boring meditation, a guided meditation. I do game. I'm going to do that later. I get my new controller in the mail today, and I'll be playing some Call of Duty. A long time for me. But I like to start my days off with meditation, and I kind of just want to share some things. So if you haven't tried meditation, give it a shot. It's not for everybody. If you don't like meditation, then this probably isn't for you, but that is your decision. So again, be as restfully aware as you can, and the idea there is as restfully aware as you can, so you don't set this expectation of failure, whereas if you don't do it, then you start to have these reactions in your mind of, oh, I didn't accomplish this thing. Hey, Gina, welcome back. Now I'm actually doing the meditation. It's good enough now. So be as restfully aware as you can of your next conscious experience. So you want to try to be restfully aware. Try to be at rest like you are when you're going to sleep or when you're waking up, but to be conscious and aware in a way that you're not when you fall asleep. But just as much as you can. So again, maybe you're not as rested as you are as you're about to fall asleep. That's probably a good thing if you are driving a car or doing things that you need to be awake for throughout the day. But just as much as you can while still maintaining awareness and consciousness. If you have a sleep disorder, maybe don't try this. And then the next thing is there's nothing else to concern yourself with. So society kind of puts all these expectations. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Leandrit. I'm glad to hear that you meditate. So maybe this you can share your own experiences. That's something that I'm hoping to. I talk to other meditators, and it's just great listening to what other people do. And I steal. I straight up steal when I hear someone that does something in meditation that I think is great. I steal that stuff. And also feel free to steal too. There's nothing else to concern yourself with. So yes, in society, there are all these expectations of things that we have to do or should do. And I think all of this is really unnecessary. We end up adopting a lot of burdens that we don't actually have to adopt because of the way that our society is built. We obviously, in this society, need to work. We have obligations. We have chores. We have expectations, things that we are supposed to be doing, that we tell ourselves we have to do, and in fact, things that we should do. But these are usually laden pretty heavily with a lot of negative feelings and emotions. And I don't think that that is necessary. I think that we can train our brain to reassociate with these activities through being mindful and meditating through all these experiences. Ooh, and I see my controller coming, though I'm not going to game till later. Sorry, distractions. Yeah, like your dog barking, right? Maybe you have a certain anxious reaction to your dog barking, but if instead you're in a mindset of being restfully aware and just trying to do that and wait for your next experience, then when it happens again, it doesn't bother you as much because you were in a restful state before it happened and you were anticipating the next stimuli. You weren't reacting to it. So something interesting. I've been trying it for 2 days now, and it's really, yeah, I know. That is true. That is what dogs do. One of my dogs in particular barks like they're dying inside. So dog barking is one thing. Dog barking as if they're dying inside is also still something that she's doing because she's really excited. She sees something in the yard. She has an instinct to protect our space and our area. And so she gets really excited to do that and to protect the ground. She likes to go out there and just run back and forth. She's a very energetic dog. But yeah, so, these are things that if we have the incorrect perspective on them, right? Like if you're like, I want to meditate and I don't like when things disturb me when I meditate. Well, when something disturbs you, that's going to create an emotional reaction in you that, yes, dogs are protective. Yeah, I can maybe share a story later about me walking my dogs outside and another dog that got off of its leash, not my own, but another one. And it was definitely in, I guess, protect mode. But yeah, staying calm in that situation, my meditative techniques really helped me, I think, in that situation, because I was able to protect both of my dogs while still not hurting this other very little dog. My dogs could have mauled it to death, but that did not happen, thankfully. But yes. So there is nothing else to concern yourself with. Yeah, so we're told that we have to react this or that way. You have a boss, and your boss wants you to get your job done right now, and your boss is stressed. And often what we do is we want to adopt the stress of our boss or the people that are close to us or friends. And I don't think this is the only way. I think there is a problem and a disconnect, because when people are in emotional states, they get upset when you aren't reactive. And this is, again, something that I think, if you look closely enough, is really their issue. I think we all need to adopt responsibility for our own emotions. That's something that I often say to myself, is to take responsibility for my own emotions. Now, it's not always that easy, and I understand that. People are going through real things and really tough things, and reacting emotionally is natural. It's something we've been doing for thousands upon millions upon thousands of years. So we also need to be understanding of ourselves when it happens. And emotions are natural. Those will probably never go away. Reactions will also probably never go away. But the idea is to not think that you have to react just because you're having an emotion. That those two things... Oh, why did I start streaming? So for a few reasons. So I like to get into conversations with people about really important things that I think are important, political or philosophical. And I really wanted to start doing that. That's actually really stressful too. And I try to make those conversations less stressful or not stressful. So I like to, I like listening to debaters or people who argue, but I don't like a lot of the attitudes that are surrounding those. So I work with an organization, or I volunteer with an organization that is trying to change that. There is a lot of controversy in this situation, as I'm sure Gina could speak on. But there are still a lot of great people in the community that still have that as their goal and want to do that, to change the way that we talk about important conversations so that they're not as vitriolic or acidic, negative, basically. So that was the main goal, and then I realized that the process of doing that was actually pretty stressful, trying to stream and do those things along with my other responsibilities that I have. And so I decided to start streaming meditation too, because that's, to me, the thing that has kept me grounded, and it's the thing that I never want to lose focus of. So I always want that to be my priority, is to make meditation, meditation comes first for me. And there's other, this actually gets into the mantra thing, some things like a quote that I really heard or I saw online and I really liked was, anything that costs you your peace is too expensive, or anything that costs you your inner peace is too expensive. And that's something that's really stuck with me. And I think about that or something similar to that a lot. Like anything, like you have to prioritize your peace. And the world tries to convince you, or people try to convince you, that no, you should be sacrificing your peace for whatever they want, or they're not at peace, so you shouldn't be at peace either. And I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's the way to go about it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm open to being wrong. But for now, I don't. I've noticed that I do things better. I guess that's the other thing too, is I actively notice myself doing things better when I prioritize peace first. It's not the other way around. When I stress out about something while I'm doing it to get it done, I do it worse. I make more mistakes. That's me personally. Though I know a lot of people that they're anxious as hell and they do it pretty well. Probably not as well as they could if they were at peace, though, in my opinion. Again, maybe I'm wrong about that, or if they had inner peace. So yeah, thanks for the engagement. So that's the mantra. That's the mantra that I'm going to continue to carry out with me throughout the day. Actually, at one point, I went about just writing restfully awake as many times as I could, or saying it in my head and counting numbers. And I got to like 1,000. I got over 1,000 one day, and it was great. I felt great doing that. So yeah, having a mantra or an affirmation can be really helpful. I've had a lot of them uh, throughout the years, but this has been the most helpful to me. Some other ones have been live life one breath at a time. Some of these are just hard to implement. It's like they're good ideas. If they help somebody else out, I think that's great. But it was hard for me to live one breath at a time. I would always just forget, and then I would be breathing funny, and I would just find myself stressed. Be as conscious as you can. So there's an idea in meditation of just covering whatever pops up in your consciousness, with your covering whatever you become aware of with your consciousness, as much of it as you can. In meditation, there's this idea of starting off with the breath. That's where it starts. I'm kind of getting into my journey a little bit now, but I'm doing the meditation anyway. And I do want to provide some silence, just to practice my own way, and also to allow others watching to practice their own way. Oh, thank you, Leandrit. I'd like to talk to you more about things. I've mentioned street epistemology already. There's a Discord. If you go to streetepistemology.com, you should be able to find the Discord. There's a lot of people who meditate in there, or there's a meditation Discord too. Some great people to connect with and talk to, and maybe you'll see me in there. I do spend a lot of time in there, so I'd be happy to hear your thoughts on some of this. So it starts off with the breath, right? That's like the most basic form of meditation. There are other ones, but that's kind of the main one. But the first thing that you learn in your path is that there is actually nothing special about the breath. We think there is, and the breath goes into regulating a lot of things. But in fact, you can pay as much attention to a thought that you've had, or to a feeling or a sensation in your body, or you can pay attention to an emotion and the things connected to an emotion, or you can pay attention to external stimuli. And really, if you pay attention to anything enough, you notice that your perspective of the thing changes. You don't have the same emotional reactions to it. And so, to the meditation server? Yes, I can, Gina. You might have to remind me again, because I'm going to do it after this stream. But you can also find it online. Like if you, or you can go to Reddit. If you go to Reddit, they have a subreddit. It's just called meditation. And then on that link, they'll have the Discord. The Discord invite. But if not, I will send it to you, or just message me in Discord, because we're already there on Discord. I can send it through there. I'll try to do it after the stream. So I will say that the meditation Discord is not always the most active, but sometimes there are people in there. But they do a lot. It's just all through chat. Along with, I know I mentioned street epistemology too, and I just want to caveat. I'm always going to have to caveat now, anytime I mention street epistemology, that there is a lot of controversy involved in that organization, unfortunately. And I'm trying to change that, though maybe it never changes. So don't take anything that you find tangentially related to street epistemology as necessarily representative of my own views or demeanors or behaviors. Unfortunately, there are some bad actors in the community. I have 2 dogs, both great doggies. I also have a kitty, and they're all just, one of them is getting older, but she's just a sweetheart, and they have their own personalities and quirks that I love. My oldest dog is really passive. My youngest dog, she's still a pup. I mean, I just got her like a year and a half ago, and she is wilding just completely, So that really gives me an opportunity to, Gina. Yeah, that really gives me an opportunity to practice my meditations, for sure. But the more that I do, the more that I love her. She actually got out of my fence 3 nights ago, actually. Yeah, 3 nights ago, and got into something dead. So I had to take care of that. Call me Leon. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I will do that. That makes more sense now. Leandrit. Yeah. Leon. Oh, actually, that could be a combination of things, but okay. All right, Leon. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I will do that. Yeah. So, and then my cat, they love being around me so much. And unfortunately, like, I'm such a busy person, I have to like pick and choose, and it sucks because a lot of what I do at home, so they always want my attention, and I'm like, I have to work. But I spend time with them every day as much as I can. It's getting warmer, and I love taking them for walks. So, like I said, I had an incident with another dog the other day, but yeah, the youngest one, she I have a cat too. Yeah, I have a cat, and I used to not like cats. And then a former partner of mine had a cat, and I thought I was allergic to them, but I guess it turns out that I'm not. Yeah, I was just being soft, I guess. I don't know what it was. Something that they carry in, but she's not an outdoor cat, nor should most cats be outdoors unless, I don't know. I guess I'm not here to judge people, but I don't let my cat outside. Yeah, she's great, and she likes sitting in my lap and getting pets and playing with lasers. She's a good kitty. She doesn't. The person that had her before I got her, she was a stray, declawed her, which, sucks. But also she's cool with me, but the dog's getting in her face, and she would have definitely messed them up by now if she didn't have claws. But yeah, so I guess what I was trying to say is she's grumpy, but she loves me. Yeah, she likes sitting in my lap. She gets a little aggravated sometimes. She got a weird meow when she was meowing outside the house one time. We thought that she was like a demon or something, because she just got such a weird meow. I thought it was like, for a second, I thought it was like a human trying to lure me outside. I was scared. But I sucked it up and then went out there, and I saw her there. Yeah. I'm assuming you meant ouch to the declawing, and yeah, that's a bad thing. She doesn't seem to have any pain, but I'm sure she does, and she's just not showing it. But yeah, so that's to go back to meditation a little bit. Yeah, to some of my other mantras: be as conscious as you can. Give up everything else. That's kind of an extremist position, but it just helps me. It helps me remind myself that this is what I dedicate myself to, and that's what helps me in life. So yeah, live life one breath at a time. Take a satisfying breath. That's another one. Or take satisfying breaths. Like it can kind of help to gamify it, or make it a bit of a competition with yourself. Like, try to take the most satisfying breath that you can, and then try to outdo it on the next one. It didn't end up being permanent for me. Obviously, I moved on from it, but it was good for a moment for me. Yeah, relaxing is great. I'm still trying to relax. I actually don't have, I had to learn how to relax. I have not been a relaxed person throughout my life. So meditation's really helped a lot for me. Yeah, gaming, any of that, my brain's always going. I've only recently figured out how to really slow it down. Yeah, so I think those are the main mantras. I will write more and say more as I think of them. I have a lot, but I don't really use them all. I use the one that's most current to me. So that can be a kind of a fun activity with meditation, is to find a phrase or a saying or even sounds or whatever that just really help you to play in your mind. Though ultimately I do think they're a crutch. I think the next level for me hopefully is going to be where I don't need the mantra, because the mantra is just reminding me to do something that I know how to do inside of myself. So yeah, live life one breath at a time. Be as conscious as you can. Call of Duty is violent. Yes, it is a violent game. Again, my practice is going to be a gamer that doesn't react to the negative things. Also, the people on there are, kind of iffy when it comes to it. But I played it when I was 19, so I already have an association in my head of enjoying that game. Very different person when I was 19. I wanted to join the military and was just a very different person. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you gotta, again, to me, I tried to see negative experiences, even though it's been to be honest, it's been hard for me. Recently, not so much. I've gotten really good at it. After 10 years, I've been doing this for over 10 years. Just recently have I figured out how to really ignore the hate. Before that, it was like I could get over the hate, but it stuck with me for a little bit at first. But yeah, you can see all those moments as opportunities. That can be a switch. You see all the negativity that people have, or all the emotions that people have. I guess negativity is a better way to look at it, or just things that happen to you that you don't want to happen. We can talk about religion or Buddhism sometime in the future, but things that you don't want to happen, and see those instead as opportunities to practice meditation. And that can start to change your relationship to those things. You stop seeing them as just aggravations and see them as opportunities. So that can be another thing that's a thing that helped me for a while. The thing that's helping me now is to tap into that space right before I'm going to sleep or right after I wake up, where I'm most restful, and then to approach stimuli from that. And I'm kind of, I do not know. No, I had a wife. I am divorced. It had relationships, very complicated things. But I also like being single. So I guess that's another thing too, is really, I think a mistake that I've made before is the fear of being alone. And so getting into relationships that I'm not much of a using your gut person. I think there are times to use your gut. I think relationships are one of those times. So not listening to my gut about the relationship because of a fear of being alone, not being able to deal with that fear, and getting into a relationship that I couldn't handle. So now it's, the mindset of really prioritizing my peace and listening to my peace when it comes to who's going to be my partner. If I have one. The other thing is you have to accept that maybe that doesn't happen, and that's okay too. But I do have to say I enjoy being by myself. I enjoy not having, because when you have a relationship, it's a whole new thing. You have it's like all the emotions that you have, right? They're human too. Now you have their emotions to deal with too, right? All of your needs and responsibilities are now become intermingled and concomitant in some way with theirs. Not everything, because that's how you end up in a dependent relationship. But the reality is there is extra burden there than when you're by yourself. So something you always have to consider before getting into a relationship. I do not. I thought about playing Fortnite. I understand that it's a very popular game, and I thought about sort of just doing it for that reason. The mechanics look a little funky to me, but I've never played it. So I could be wrong about that. Yeah, the mechanics are a little funky. I don't like the graphics as much as I like Call of Duty. But I'm open to it. Yeah, for sure. I've played other things. I've played Among Us. I've played Civilization is like I really like Civilization. The problem with Civilization is I always play it on marathon mode, and I always play the big maps, so they take forever. And so I probably won't do like I just was playing a game the other night. Yeah. Fortnite has an update. Which one are we talking about? Yeah, Fortnite is more cartoonish. I hate to say it, and again, I'm not a violent person, but there is something. I just already have a connection with Call of Duty. I think there's something about it, something about the mechanics that are familiar to me, so I think it's more nostalgia. Yeah. But Fortnite looks fun. I watch a lot of Fortnite like memes or TikToks. So I've seen a lot of cool ones. It seems like you can do a lot of cool stuff in Fortnite. That's what I like about it. Like I see people like randomly start playing like instruments with each other or collaborating in instruments. That's really fun. It looks like, and then there are like these stories where you can see things from different. You can see an event from like different perspectives. Some of that I'm pretty sure is set up, but I still like watching it. So yeah, I think the customization is what I would go to Fortnite for. You can sort of do that in Call of Duty, but I think Fortnite is just so big, right? Like you can be Goku, like I could be all those people that I would want to be that I wouldn't be able to be in Call of Duty. And I'm not sure who took from who, but there does seem to be a lot of things in Fortnite that's in Call of Duty, or a lot of things in Call of Duty that are in Fortnite. So I don't know how that happened, but it seems like it might be easier in terms of collaborate. One thing that I do not try to play family friendly games. They're cool too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I play a lot of family friendly games, especially board games. My family's played a lot of board games. Like I said, Among Us, maybe that's not family friendly because it involves murder, or I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but it involves the M word. Let's see. And then I've played Dead by Daylight, which also involves that. I need some water. Let me get some water. Bubbly water. I've done that a little bit, not with others. Yeah, Sims. I've played Sims before. Like I said, Civilization's my go-to. I have some games that I want to play, but I need to, in terms of fiscal responsibility, I have to be careful. That would be another thing, was I'd have to buy Fortnite. And I already own Call of Duty, and a lot of it's free. But Pets, there's a game. Is it called Pets? I think there's a game called Pets. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Leon. Yeah, I need to. It's a bit scratchy sometimes, but yeah. Oh, Fortnite is free? I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me that. Well, that changes some things. That makes it easier. Yeah. Pets, I think is what it's called. Cyberpunk. I wanted to play that game, though I heard it wasn't good. There's a game where you can like go through evolution, human evolution. I thought about playing that game. Avatar, but Avatar isn't on PC. I would love to play Avatar. A lot of great games out there. I used to play. I've played a lot of Elder Scrolls. A lot of Elder Scroll games. I played Oblivion, and then I played What's the new one? I'm sure you know what it is. Skyrim. Yeah. Skyrim, I loved those games. Yeah. This game I think is called Hero. But yeah, so but I kind of like got out of my gaming phase. I just got too busy for it. But now I'm hoping I can make some time for it, just kind of for my own enjoyment. I don't have too many things that I really enjoy. I like going hiking and stuff, but it's not always feasible. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the gaming stuff. And I got a lot of projects coming up too. Gonna do some SE stuff, some debate stuff, some what else? Oh yeah, I'm starting a new thing with one of the people in the two of the people in the SE community. We're gonna do what we can to try to change the image a bit, or at least provide variety within the community. Yeah, so one other resource that I wanted to... I play everything on PC, by the way. Yeah, I know it's weird because I'm talking to the chat right now. I'll have chat up on different things, but meditation, I just feel bad not interacting right now because... Well, not feel bad, I guess I just want to interact because it's my first time streaming like this. So I do appreciate the interaction. But UCLA, I don't know if either of you have heard of UCLA before, but UCLA has great guided meditations with that. Oh yeah, how can you help with that? It's very difficult. It's very difficult, and I almost don't want to get into it here because I know anybody's watching is like, oh, this is supposed to be about meditation, but just to answer it briefly, because of the main figurehead in SE, because of how popular he is, it is gonna be a what's the word? No mean feat, as they would say. I think is how that phrase goes, hopefully. But the idea would be that you would want to create something as popular or more popular than that main figure. That's the only way that I can see it really happening, or something close. I guess it doesn't have to be exactly that, but you have to provide alternatives to what he is doing. Sisyphus? Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah, it might be. It might be. That's something that time will tell. You know, this is really some people's last ditch effort to do something about this. And it's really unfortunate because I am a big part of the street epistemology community. And I love a lot of the people there and what they're doing. I see so much potential there that it's hard for me to just give it up and leave. Gaming is relieving for you. Yeah, I know we're talking about street epistemology now. Sorry, Leon, but we will go back to gaming. I didn't want to talk about street epistemology too much. It's a big controversy, things going on, but people who want to change the way that communication is happening, it's not helping to just try to rebrand it or something like that. So it's unfortunate because street epistemology already has a lot of resources behind it. So if we could just change the culture, diversity, I think, is key. It's okay that people have different perspectives in the community. In fact, I want that. It's not okay that it seems like one perspective or a handful of perspectives are dominating the community right now, or being, their image is really is the most out there and is creating the image of SC. This isn't my first stream. It is my first stream using Restream. It's my best stream. If you go look at my previous streams, they were not good because I was using add-ons to OBS. And I just decided to spring it and buy Restream because the qualities would be a lot better. So no, I've done gaming before. I did it on my old channel, which I decided to change. It was just Quaid Snell, which is my name, and I did some gaming there, and I did some meditations there, and I'm gonna try to transfer that over. I don't know if there's too much value in it, but I think I'm just gonna do it just so there's content and people could see my growth. So no, and then also I've done streaming for Street Epistemology before. So if you see, I've done live streams where we went to the politics Discord server, which is a particularly rambunctious Discord server, and done Street Epistemology there. It took me a while to set that up, but we've come a long way, and we'll probably do some more things there, not too much because we're trying to change some things, but I will certainly still go in there, have some more to set up on that end. But yeah, so okay, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. Yeah, UCLA guided meditation can be a great resource to learn more about it, and I think maybe next stream I'll share sort of my own progress through time, though I've kind of shared some of it here. But I do kind of want to come back to it now. I want to come back to the idea of being restfully aware. I do have another job, by the way. What is it? Be as restfully aware as you can of your next conscious experience. Yeah. And that's putting you in a calm state and waiting and anticipating the next experience instead of reacting to it. And then also there's nothing else you have to do. I forget how I put it. What is it? There's nothing else to concern yourself with. I guess you shouldn't concern yourself with this thing too, because that's probably not going to help. I do have another job. I am a teacher. So I teach college English. I focus on research and argumentation. So that's why so much talk about debate and argumentation. Is that my dog on the shelf? It is. She is not dead, so that is not a memorial. That was just when another pet of ours died, they sent us that one as well. That was Chewy? Is that the name of the organization? I think it's called Chewy. Great organization. They've really done some great things in terms of, we bought food, and then when the pet died, we didn't need it, and they gave us a full refund. And some other things, and then they made those portraits. They got the cat wrong. They did get the cat wrong, and I did contact them to try to get them to do it again, and they said, well, just contact, because I guess they just use Fiverr for those. So they pay someone on Fiverr to make them, which is really sweet to do. So yes, that is one of my dogs. That would be Les. She is a part blue tick hound, part some type of terrier. Not sure what. Been told Jack Russell, though it's kind of hard to believe. Maybe rat terrier. My other one is also a hound, a red-haired hound. But she's a mix too. I don't know what she is. And then my cat's a tortie, which explains the behavior. She's really great, though. She is sweet, but if you pet her the wrong way, if you don't respect her boundaries, she'll give you the skibbity paps, as they call them. But yeah, so I am just going to take a moment here to meditate. Some silence. I know I've been streaming, I think, for a while now, so I apologize that it took me a while to get to this, but testing things out. So yeah, the mantra really for me is to be as restfully aware as I can of my next conscious experience. And there's nothing else to concern myself with. And again, this is just reminding me to reach a deep, restful state of meditation. and kind of the key components of meditation. You can meditate, by the way, any way that you want to. There are all these formalisms around meditation. None of that is actually required. If it helps you, great. Like sitting up straight can help you breathe better. So you can check your posture if you want to, but if you want to meditate slumped over, not the best for your back, but if that's what's helping you stay at peace in a moment, I would say as long as you don't do it too much, it's okay. You can meditate laying down. It's okay to meditate laying down. They say put your feet on the floor. You can put your feet on the floor if you want to, or not put your feet on the floor. They say back upright, shoulders down. I could do that. I really don't want to do that, so I'm going to change postures back to what I was before, but I think that is technically the best for you. They say to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, though again, there are these rules that can really take you away from the practice of meditation, because the purpose of meditation is to reach a non-judgmental state. So if you're like, oh no, I've breathed through my mouth, how horrible is that? Then you've taken yourself out of the meditative mindset. So reaching that non-judgmental state, that state of just awareness of whatever you're doing, being proactive instead of reactive. And what you want to do if you do decide to do breath-focused meditation, which can be great, a couple of things that I've heard is, one, you can really just cover the breath in your consciousness. I've heard it described as this way, and I really liked that description. Covering your breath with your consciousness. You want to try to notice as much about your breath as you can. So the idea is to try to notice when your breath begins. So when does your breath start? I notice it really at the tip of my nose. I can start to feel some wind come in, and then I can feel it going through the nasal passage, and then down my throat and into my chest, and I can notice my diaphragm expanding. And you can also notice the breath out. You can notice your diaphragm contracting, your chest getting smaller, and you can feel that air again through your throat and out of your nose, or if you're breathing through your mouth, you can notice the feeling of the breath on your lips or at the back of your lips. But again, the next thing is to notice that there's nothing really special about the breath. You can do this with your thoughts. So let's say you have a thought come up. Just try to cover that thought in your consciousness. Try to notice as much about that thought as you can. Or maybe you have a feeling. Maybe you have, I hesitate to say this, but it's okay, an itch or a weird sensation in your leg. You just want to try to cover. You can, of course, itch it if you want. You can move if you're uncomfortable. These are all okay in meditation. But try to notice as much about the sensation as you can. And then I notice I don't always have to itch. In fact, I don't itch a lot. I just notice it until it goes away. Another metaphor that's often used is you can imagine yourself sitting on the side of the road and your thoughts or your feelings or your emotions or external stimuli are the cars, and you want to get good at just letting them pass, not creating stories about them or where they're going or where they came from, or why is this person driving so fast? Why is this person driving so slow or erratic? Because then you get into the traffic yourself. So the idea is to remove yourself from the traffic and see it from a removed perspective. And this is what we call some sort of dissociation, which can be a bad thing if it's done unintentionally or involuntary, but is not necessarily a bad thing if it's giving you peace and comfort. Yeah. So your feelings, your emotions are another thing. I was talking about that. If you're angry, how do you know you're angry? What are you thinking? What thoughts are you having? Cover those thoughts in your consciousness. What are you feeling inside of your body? Are you feeling some type of what you might call fire in your chest? Or is some type of maybe even pain or uncomfort in your chest, in your neck, in your throat, as we often feel anger, in your stomach? And just pay as much attention to those sensations as you can. And I often notice that they go away when I do that. And then again, anything external. If there's a sound that distracts you, or a sight, another thing, again, these rules that we set up in meditation, if they work for you, great, but they can be hindrances in reaching that non-judgmental state. So feel free to meditate with your eyes open, and you can pay attention to just the things in the room, the things around the room. This is grounding too. Grounding can help you. This is a CBT technique. So things in the room, the way that the light refracts off things, the color of things, the shape of things. These are all things that you can notice and can be a meditative practice. So meditation can be a way of life. It doesn't have to be something that you apply 5 minutes in the morning and then you're done. In fact, if you view it this way, it can again be a hindrance. Meditation is something that you can take with you throughout the day, or at least mindfulness. If you don't view this as meditation, that's fine. But mindfulness is something that you can take with you throughout the day. And is helpful if you do. You can learn to reassociate. And that's ultimately the goal. Reassociate with the things that usually cause you problems or discomfort. Sometimes life gets really hard, and my heart goes out to those that are really struggling. And I would never assume that it's just as easy as applying these things. But if it does help you, then I also think that that's a great thing. So those are the main things you can do. Those are the main things that you can observe or look at. And there's a lot more. But I think that's good for today. I'm going to try to actually go get some type of workout in before I have to go to work. But thank you if you did tune in. I will be on later tonight and lots more. I'm planning on doing this as often as I can, every morning at the very least. Lots of other things to talk about. Bye, Leon. Thank you for stopping in. If you are watching, by the way, if anybody else out there is watching and you have a TikTok, you can go to my Linktree. You can ignore all the other stuff. That's still, I'm in the process of working all that. But I guess my goal right now is to get as many followers on TikTok as I can, because that will allow me to start streaming live on there. So that is a goal of mine. Thanks, Gina. Hope to talk to you again soon. No problem. I will be back tomorrow, probably earlier. I do plan on trying to do this at like 7 a.m. Eastern time, though I'll probably do it for a while. And then I'll game every once in a while and, like I said, do some conversations. Maybe reaction videos. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But look for more stuff. It was fun. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah.